So we've already been through one of the teams that was recently added to the league in the first video where I covered the defending champion Gujarat Titans. And today I'll be talking to you about one of the more peculiar teams of the two. Why am I introducing this video like you haven't already read the title? Today, we're going over the Lucknow Super Giants. Last season for the Lucknow Super Giants was a great way to start off a history of IPL cricket that I'm sure will bear some fruit in the years to come. But when you take a deeper look at this season, you'll see some very strange but oddly relevant statistics. As most of us know, last year the Super Giants went 9-5, clinching the number 3 spot overall in the league. But what interests me most is how these wins came. In the league stage, Lucknow were undefeated against teams that didn't make the playoffs, winning a perfect 9 out of 9 games. But against teams that did, they lost every single time, even excluding their loss to RCB in the Eliminator. Similarly, when batting first, they won a perfect 7 out of 7 games, but only came away with victories in 2 of their 7 games chasing. One could attribute this to the fact that their batting was way too reliant on KL Rahul, Quinton de Kock and Deepak Hooda. The three of them of course had great seasons respectively, with Rahul even finishing second place in the Orange Cap contest and posting his third straight 600 run plus season. While there was a lot of theoretical star power and squad balance, the team just struggled to produce on occasions where their captain or openers didn't lead from the front. One could argue that they just struggled to utilize Jason Holder and Marcus Stoinis in the middle order, but the point still stands for the fact that LSG was the epitome of over-reliance, and this showed in their putrid chasing record. Their bowling was filled with big-name players and great auction finds, most notably Mohsin Khan, but he wasn't the only one on this star-powered bowling lineup. Avesh Khan was able to prove that 2021 wasn't a fluke and had a great season. Dushmanta Chamira was expensive but was still a somewhat reliable bowler when he was in form. Jason Holder, Marcus Stoinis, Ankit Rajput and Andrew Tye also made sure that KL Rahul was spoilt for choices in the pace category. The spin department was by no means empty, being filled with big names in the likes of Krunal Pandya, Shahbaz Nadeem, Ravi Bishnoi and Krishnappa Gautam. Make no mistake, this team was stacked, but for some reason, it just didn't show in their performances. Against normal opposition, sure, it was a walk in the park, but against some of the stronger sides in the league, they struggled, which illustrates just how much potential was wasted on this season. With a starting lineup like this, the Super Giants should not have placed expectations lower than the final itself. They just weren't able to get the job done when it came to having to play consistent and quality cricket for both innings, and this led to their downfall in a stage of the tournament that was admittedly earlier than expected. Now, it's tough to be this critical about a team that made the playoffs and did so convincingly, but I just can't help but wonder how much of a behemoth this team could become if they began playing to their potential. You saw for yourself the amount of raw talent and star power they have on their lineup, and with a team like that and a franchise with an estimated value of around 7,090 crores, the Eliminator just doesn't suffice. On paper, this team is a huge prospect to be the next IPL champion, but it'll boil down to how consistently they can play games and if they have what it takes to sit on the IPL's highest summit with some of the league's best teams. So the other 9 franchises better be wary of Lucknow, because this year they're one of the teams to beat. And with a squad so packed with big names and game changers, this team has a very solid shot at the trophy this year. So for my starting 11, it was very tricky not to fit a well-balanced squad in because I was so spoiled for choices. The openers were obvious choices in KL Rahul and Quinton de Kock, both of whom had a great year in 2022. Rahul has been struggling a bit on the international level, but he seems to come alive during the IPL, and I think it'll take more than a few bad performances to replace the relatively successful team captain of 2022. At number 3, I have the very talented Deepak Hooda. This is a player that can really change the game and has been a mainstay with whatever franchise he's played with in the league for a while. At number 4, we have our first controversial pick of the segment in the form of Manan Vora being selected over Ayush Badoni. Now hear me out. We're talking about a batsman who proved that he could work as an opener in Rajasthan. He needs to be allowed to get going, and so for this reason I put him as high as I possibly could. It's risky, but I feel like his solid technique and classic batting style will bail me out. Number 5 will feature Nicholas Pooran, a devastating hitter that could work wonders if given time to get going. At number 6, I chose to have Marcus Stoinis, who adds another dimension to the bowling and is not to mention one of the best big hitting players in the world right now. At number 7, we have established IPL player Krunal Pandya, an incredibly underrated bowler in my opinion, and his presence in the side would give Rahul another place to refer to when out of options or in need of a wicket from somewhere. My pick for number 8 goes to Romario Shepherd, who can definitely do some damage with the bat and dish out some hostile deliveries with the the ball. Number 9 will see Jaydev Unadkat making his debut in the teal colours, a bowler that I can back to get results, but his permanent spot in the team will boil down to his consistency over the 14-game stretch. Avesh Khan comes in at number 10 for me, and this one doesn't really need much justification with the domination of last year and the recent form he's been in. And finally, Mohsin Khan comes in at number 11 to round out one of the most high-powered teams in the league going into 2023. So that's it for Lucknow. I definitely stirred up a lot of controversy with the team selection, but I tried my best. I'm sure lots of people are backing LSG to go all the way, and honestly I'm one of them. If this team finds their rhythm and can play up to their potential game in and game out, we might have an unstoppable force on our hands. But I can't guarantee anything now, can I?